Alright, y'all, so look, before we get into this one right here, I just need y'all to make sure y'all go ahead and click the subscribe button. What can I say? I would say we on the road to 10K, maybe 1K. We just on the road to something. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just don't want to feel like I'm doing this for nothing. You feel me? So, but we doing something different today. We reacted to a TikTok story time today. I guess he talking about story time on how he accidentally shot his brother and how he lost his father. It's a 7-part story, so it should be good. It caught my eyes, so I don't know. We're gonna see how this performs on the channel. See. We ain't gonna really hope for nothing too crazy. You feel me? We just, like I said, we just trying to get this content out here for y'all. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this video. Like always, love all.
Y'all doing TikTok. I'm not really comfortable on doing this, but I have got a lot of people from my TikTok and my life period actually story time on how I actually killed my brother and losing my father. First started in 2022, start of 2022. You know what I'm saying? From start of 2022, I was already gone. My mental was gone. I already was in the streets. I was thugging. I had a mindset like I was gonna die here. I told my mother, I told my father, like, this is what it's me. This is who I am. I don't hold that energy now. You feel me? So that ain't even in me. But starting off with my brother, that whole day was weird. I feel like you could feel death in the air, and I felt death in the air. Even my brother had sat down and told me the energy, the vibe was weird, and I felt it. I'm like, dang, the vibe is weird. So we get down to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm making my little money. How I do everything. I used to break in cars. You know how I get. You know what I'm saying? Steal little cars. You know what I'm saying? I hope I ain't incriminate myself.
Oh, you already did, brother.
So through that night, I got a little couple bread. And we spent money on some gas, and we went right back to my homegirl house, who was a stud, who was my best friend still to this day. We went back to her house, and we had started smoking. And my gun was already put up in the house. It wasn't nowhere near me, but we had to go back to the store, and we had to walk to the store. But during that time, I was doing a lot of things, and I had a lot of people after me. And I was like a walking target everywhere I went. Like 2 days before that, we was walking to the store. We got shot at twice, not one.
Shot at, okay.
One night. So I asked my brother, I'm like, do you want me to grab the gun? He was like, yeah, go grab it. Mind you, I never asked my brother to grab my gun or nothing. I just asked him. That's why I tell people I always listen to your intuition. When I grabbed the gun, we went to the store, came back, no problems.
Okay.
And when we had came back, I had got that thought in my mind, like, put the gun up, put the gun up, put the gun up, put the gun up. But I didn't put the gun up. Then I just didn't put the gun up. Something told me to put the gun up. And how my gun was positioned at the time, it was in this pocket. It was in a pocket like this. I always walk around, I always have one of, I forgot what you call type of these, but one of these.
The bomber coat.
I always got a jacket under. I don't never wear a coat. And I had my gun right here. So I had my gun right here. They playing music. We getting high. We having fun. We smoking. You know what I'm saying? Out of nowhere, the room stopped. The room felt weird, and we started talking about killing. It was like, if anything come through here, you better get the bus. And ooh, you know how it go. They were just talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I'm the only one with a gun. So, you know, I feel like if people don't be around guns and they get to that time, the energy started to be weird. But this what got me right here. My brother yelled out, man, if somebody shoot through the window right now, man, and it hit me, man, that bullet going straight through me.
It's like, first off, hold on. Why are we talking like this in the first place? You know, hold on. You know, Are these the conversations that we're having with people? I don't know if y'all in the car smoking, drinking, chopping it up. Them type of conversations y'all having, because them ain't the type of conversations I'm having with my partners. You feel me? We talk about real life stories. How we want to better ourselves and how we want to elevate in life, and just different ways to make money and stuff like that. Like, you feel me? We ain't talking about. I ain't saying we don't talk about topics. You feel me? Maybe surrounding stuff like this, but why y'all in the car talking like that? Like, you feel me? Of course it'll feel weird. Hold on, what about y'all?
Bam, ain't nobody catch me. We continue talking about like just violence. But as we talking about violence, we hear arguing outside because she has her window open because we're smoking. As we hear the arguing, I'm not paying no attention for real. I'm zoned out because, mind you, like night before I was taking so many drugs, like my mind was.
And see, this another thing, man. Y'all gotta leave these drugs alone. Like, I got to. And now I ain't talking about weed. I'm talking about all these other drugs, these pills, drink, even alcohol. I would say that too. Like, you feel me? But as far as drugs, just all the hard stuff like that everybody be on nowadays. Like, I'm seeing kids 12, 11, 13 years old walk around with whippies, smoking, popping pills, drinking lean, washing the pill down with the lean. Like how high do y'all be wanting to be? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it don't make sense to me. Like, why does a person need to be that high? Like, at that point, you should, like, you don't need to do it no more. Cause, like, why are you getting so high? We getting off topic. Let's go and
observe to everything that I was consuming. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. Like my mind was unfocused on everything.
I just feel like the music is making it worse.
Focused. And I was already diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, PTSD, depression, anxiety, all these things before this. So as I hear the arguing, my brother said somebody at the window, my brother and Kayla. But at the time, I didn't know they was playing. At the time, I'm taking it as a serious thing. And as they said that, I grabbed my gun. I turned my head. When I turned my head, I see the flash from the light. And as soon as I turned my head, I stood up. And my brother like, man, Elton, watch where you waving that gun, man. I said, "Cause ain't one in the head, not one in the head, it's not one in the head." But as I'm doing that, I slipped at the same time because I had my shoes off. The room was cluttered, and I slipped and I fell. And when I fell, the gun went on fire. Mind you, no one knew they was shot. Not even my brother. My brother hit me. He said, "Elton, what is you doing? What the F are you doing?" He hit me. And when he hit me, I'm like, what the fuck? I look at the gun, I'm like, this motherfucker just went off. And Caleb's father yelled out, "Who shot?" And my brother tapped his shoulder, he said, "I'm shot." He fell, but when he fell, he hit the edge of the rail. Everybody in the room panicked and they ran out. He shot his brother, he shot his brother. I went to go pick up my brother. I'm in shock. I didn't know how to feel. Like, when you go through that, you don't have no emotions.
I know you don't.
I went to go run and go get my grandmother. After I went to go get my grandmother tried to put an aid on him, and my grandmother snatched my gun, and she yelled at me, and I had to snatch my gun back. All my brother kept telling me is to go, and I love you. He said, "Go, I love you."
Wow.
I took off running, snatched my gun, and I took off running. Went somewhere to lay my head over the night. Woke up that next morning and my face was everywhere on the news, social media platforms. I remember going downstairs and hear my auntie say, "You on CNN News?" I'm like, ain't no way I'm on CNN News. And backstory, I was already on the radar of the police, so they was already like on me. So why would you do? You don't never know. Like, you think you slick? I thought I was slick too. I was on their radar too. So kiss my mama. Called up to the school because that's the only place that I knew officers, trustworthy officers that I be with every day to turn myself in. When I turned myself in, I went to the detective and they asked me backstory and I told them the backstory. And then they jumped to the gun situation and that's when the whole subject switched to the gun and to other things that I was doing, to where I hang at, to other crimes. And I asked for a lawyer and got up out of there.
Oh, let's go to this other part. Nah, this is crazy, man. Like,
so many numbers. And I know a lot of people had their questions, and I was really going around the whole thing in the video. So I already know a lot of people questions and a lot of people assumptions and what they put up in their mind.
it's like,
But it was,
this is another thing too. Just the courage to get on a platform and openly talk about this. You feel me? Like, openly, and make multiple parts takes a lot. Maybe this is a way of coping with it. Or maybe he just really want everybody to know the story. Because me personally, I don't think I'll be able to come on here and talk about something like this. And I don't know if he calm because he's just trying to be like, all right, I'm trying to just make the video. Maybe this is his way of like letting it go. But it's just like social media everywhere nowadays, you know. So it's like ain't no telling if his mother seeing this, the people who's in that room, they seeing this. Like everybody, like you feel me? They might feel a way about this. Like, why do you keep talking about this? Like whatever. Like they might even hate him for what he did. The whole time he's saying it was an accident. This is crazy. He kind of dragging it. We're gonna sit through.
It was an accident. Y'all have so many questions. Like, are y'all the police? So we back on part 2.
Come on, but
and I'm gonna get to
you already telling us.
Questions part at the end. So when I was in the detective room before, and I'm gonna rewind back, before even leaving my brother, I didn't even know my brother was deceased. I thought my brother was gonna survive. So that's a huge text that I didn't put in there. I thought my brother was gonna survive. Definitely did.
Okay.
So I was in the detective room and they was done questioning me. They brought my father in, and when my father came in, my father told me to talk to them because asked them for a lawyer, and I guess they told my parents that I asked for a lawyer. And my father came in, he was like, "You killed my son, and you ain't gonna tell him nothing?" And I broke down crying. And he left out the room. And
his dad said, "You killed my son. Like I'm not your son. So now you're looking at me as less of a son because of an accident." Now I know it's not acceptable. I know it may not look like an accident in nobody else's eyes, but only they really know what happened. So that'll kind of mess with me. My dad, "Oh, you killed my son," because you know people may say that like, "Oh, get your son." They may say that to the father of their kids, or you know, the mother of their kids. They may say, "Oh, get your son," or these my kids," or "Get your kid." Like, you know, like a little joking manner, not nothing crazy. But in this moment, his dad was dead serious. Like, you feel me? So it's like I wonder how that kind of like.
My mother came in and my mama just hugged me and kept crying. And they continued to put me in handcuffs. Took me to the juvenile station. I was 17 at the time.
So you're not supposed
and
to have.
I got into booking. When I got into booking, I was downstairs with 2 people. You know what I'm saying? One was from the opposite side, and one was cool. I ain't never known him, but he was cool. And they both showed me love. You know what I'm saying? They both showed me good energy. You know what I'm saying? Cool. It was cool. All cool. And they made me talk to every kid that came in there. Like every young kid that walked through there, they used to be like, "It was a 32. Talk to him, man. Talk to him. Tell him this ain't what you want." And I used to sit there and talk to him almost all night. Sit there and talk to all the young kids that come in there.
Got me acting like I'm some type of criminal. You want me to sit up here and talk to them like I just been here, or like this is what I do. So let me go ahead and preach to the youth to not be here. All right.
Cause you know, when you downstairs in the waiting room, it's like number like kids like 11, 10 years old coming in there and out of there. My first time getting convicted, my first time getting in trouble was I was 12 years old. And about a week later, they had left and got transferred upstairs. And during that time, during that weekend, I had nobody to talk to. So that Sunday, I remember watching the football game, the Bengals versus the Titans, out my window. I remember the Titans losing, my team losing. I remember going to sleep that night and feeling like a lot of things on my mind, and I just psyched out. And mind you, I was diagnosed with PTSD, paranoid schizophrenia, and severe depression, severe anxiety. Like I'm diagnosed with a lot of things, psychosis. So as I'm snapping, you know what I'm saying, the night lady, she really don't care.
Right.
She like, I don't care what he talking about. Well, we gonna stand there and say, I'm snapping. That morning came, like, as soon as that morning came, you know what I'm saying? So when that morning came, like I tell people, I psych, like down there myself, I couldn't hear nothing up here for a week straight. Like everything was quiet. I was so stuck in shock. You know how people hear voices and people like, you know what I'm saying? You got that voice in your head. I didn't hear that voice for about a week straight. 2 weeks straight, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know no better, but I feel like right now that it was suffer from God for not listening to my intuition. So he made me be quiet for like a whole week. So I woke up that morning. As soon as I woke up that morning, I was on BS. My mind like snapped. I was tired of being in there. I was tired of eating that food. I was tired of doing the same thing. I couldn't talk. I couldn't even talk to nobody. So I sat downstairs in solidation for like 3-4 days. Couldn't talk to nobody. I went crazy. During the time, I didn't know why I was acting like this, but now I know now. So as soon as I woke up, I'm throwing all my trays, and they kept my trays in there from all the way to like a week. And you get 3 meals a day, so they kept all my trays in there for a whole week because it was COVID time. And I guess people don't go in there if you closed off. So my trays was packed up for about a week. These 3 trays, every day you get 3 trays. And I just started throwing them at my door. Boom, boom, my window, boom, boom. And I started beating on my window. And I remember my last tray, I threw it. And I got milk everywhere. Like all on top of my ceiling, all on everywhere. I even threw it on me. And the lady sat there and told me, you gonna sit in that? Hey, boy, I was mad at the world, boy. I wanted myself in that cell, man, for real. And I remember 12 o'clock hit. As soon as 12 o'clock hit, my lawyer came and saw me. As soon as my lawyer came and saw me, my lawyer hit me up and we got to talking. We got to talking about my case and everything he was saying. And this is why I talk to juveniles to this day. Because I didn't know nothing he was talking about. I didn't know zero he was talking about. I didn't know nothing about what they was doing, I was confused on everything, the words he was explaining, everything. And at this time, this is a public defender. This is not a lawyer. And I asked him, I'm like, am I able to go home? I guess I ain't mean to come. Am I able to go home? He told me straight up, he was like, no, you're not able to come home. And they're offering 53 years.
Wow.
And I looked at him with a straight face. That was like my end point. It was definitely my end point. And I snapped. I threw everything. I said, for my brother's death? And he was like, yes, your brother is dead. Oh, I snapped some more. I'm throwing things. I said, if y'all let me out here, I'm going to myself. I'm saying it loud. I'm saying I don't care. Damn. They didn't take that as a joke. They packed all my things up. And sent me out to the mental health facility, but I had to stay in a hospital, regular hospital, for about a week straight. But as I'm staying there for a week straight, I'm shackled up. So I'm in St. Thomas Hospital. I'll never forget. I'm in St. Thomas Hospital. Legs shackled up, arms shackled up, and at the time I had dreads, so my dreads was in my face, and I was getting a little boat. So like I looked at myself in the mirror, and all I knew, I'm like, dang, I look like a fucking monster right now. And I just looked at myself in the mirror, and all I knew, I hated the way I looked. And I was tired of looking
as we can tell, he lost that weight he talking about.
A monster.
He actually looked like somebody.
I was tired of being a monster. And when I went back to my room after I went to the bathroom, I remember watching kids watching me, because I had like two two guards with me, you know what I'm saying, holding me. And I'm watching little kids looking at me weird, and I'm watching mothers looking at me weird, and I'm not even, like, to me, I'm not that type of guy. I'm like, damn, like, this shit crazy to me. And it's making me feel so little in the inside. Made me feel like I wasn't nothing. But as I went back to my room, I picked up a Bible. Didn't know nothing about the Bible, for real. But I went to church, you know what I'm saying, being younger. Never with family. I just walked to church by myself. I had that connection with God all my life, but never understood who God was. But I kept reading the Bible. I'm like, I don't understand this. So the guard left, came back with another book that broke down the Bible verses for me. And that's when I just went to writing. From like day 2 of being in that hospital, from day 5, I kept writing, kept getting the understanding of God.
Right.
And I remember the day that they was gonna transfer me to the mental facility. When they transferred me to the mental facility, I had this officer. I don't know his name. But thank God for this man, for this officer. If you seeing this, I thank you. I thank you very, very much. I give all props to you. When the world was looking at me bad, you looked at me like golden. He told me that night, he said, I was on that case that night. He was like, I was so worried, sick about you. He was like, I knew you didn't mean to do it on purpose. Everything, I seen it. I talked to everybody in that house. I know you ain't do it on purpose. He said, I was the first person on that call. So when I heard that they needed you transferred, I was the first person to come. Man, he dropped the mic right here. Hold on now. As soon as we got in the car, as soon as I'm getting transferred, he said, what you want to listen to? I said, Rod Wave, my favorite artist. And he played Rod Wave all the way to the mental facility.
Rod Wave get you in that different mode though. So it's like I'm already knowing the type of stuff he got going on, what he probably thinking about. Rod Wave was down there, you ready to cry in that back seat. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Especially the stuff he got going on. I probably would have shed a couple tears.
Hell you. You just telling me, man, you gotta keep focused, you gotta keep going, man. This ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep going, you a man. And that gave me my motivation right there. That's the death of my father and me changing my life. From I went to the mental facility, as soon as I arrived to the mental facility, they treated me like a killer. Of course, that's who I was at the time that they looked at me, and they treated me like a cold-blooded killer. I couldn't do nothing with the other people, couldn't really talk to them, all these other things. And I was sitting in the back with some girl, and they were so hilarious. You know what I'm saying? It was 3 black females. One of the females, she's still a good friend to this day, you know what I'm saying? I still talk to her to this day. And they had me laughing up a storm. I couldn't even joke, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a jokester, but just didn't look at me no different. And they was sitting there telling me how they seen my situation on the news before they got into this situation. How they felt sympathy for me, you know what I'm saying? This and that. And as we got to the night class, something happened with one of the nurses that was trying to teach us. And the girl was making fun of him, and we were laughing our pants off, you know what I'm saying? Respectfully, you know what I'm saying?
He probably, making the best of the situation.
You know how you is when you a kid, you know what I'm saying? Everything be funny to you. So he ended up getting mad and
that ain't just when you a kid now.
The session short. And when he cut the session short, the people who was paying attention, which I would have had more respect if I understood people's attention span at the time. I didn't understand that other people was paying attention, and I should be quiet. So as soon as people walked out, they had caught an attitude, and one walked out and said the N-word, which I decided to put my hands on the dude for saying the N-word. Stupidity of me. When I put my hands on the dude, like the whole hospital just started to shut down. Everybody started to yell. Codes started to be called. They closed the door. They kept making me slam. And then this is why I feel like I missed. Like I'm so throwful. Like what? Like I ran to my room right after it happened, and I went to go read a book. Like I ain't did nothing. I seen like 3-4 big heavy set dudes running across my room. They looking like what's going on, because I guess they come from the back room, and they got contact of what was going on, so they came straight to my room, which brought the lady, one of the counselors, to my room. She was just telling me things, and she was just like, they don't accept people like me. Like she was just literally like, because you've been here before, that's the only reason that we accepted you. I got a long mental health history when I was a kid that I went through. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand, man. This ain't just one story. This is 50 other stories. And that morning I had met with the psychologist, and he had appointed me. He called me a killer to my face. He was like, look at your paperwork. Look what.
I mean, but it's like, it's almost like, what do you really expect? You feel me? Because it's like, yeah, now that you telling us, it's an accident. Of course, you ain't no serial killer or no killer. Like, you feel me? Like, it was an accident, but you still did do something resulted in somebody's death. Unfortunately, your brother. You feel me? So, in the eyes of everybody else, they gonna look at you like, oh, he's a killer. Like, you feel me? Especially they just going off the paperwork. Oh, he's a killer. He was violent in the last jail, or he said he was suicidal. So now he's here. You feel me? So they looking at you just like everybody else up here, in a way. I'm just going off, you feel me, what I'm hearing. If I'm missing something, then maybe I missed it, but I'm just going on based off just making my own assumption. Like, nothing is confirmed, but yeah, like it's basically just how this is like how, if, you feel me, one person is constantly showing you their true nature, right? But they telling you something different. But they constantly showing you what they're doing. You gonna look at them as that whatever. Or for instance, if a person is violent and they showing you that they violent, but they constantly telling you they're not violent and they're a nice person, but they constantly showing you that they're violent, you're gonna look at them as violent. You know what I'm trying to say? Because that's all they're showing you. So it's like, it's kind of like his situation. They read your paperwork, they see you, they seen your case on the news, probably they're like, oh yeah, he's a killer. He's definitely a killer. We're gonna treat him as such.
Look what you said you was when you was younger. You called me like this is how I was gonna do. Like I'm gonna be in a system. This was me. But I wasn't mad at him. I understood him because this is what I was living. And this was like, from the inside looking in, somebody I understand. No one understood where I was coming from though. And I just felt hopeless, like no one could help me, literally. I felt like everybody gave up on me, like it was just over. So they sent me back up to the juvenile facility. When they sent me back up to the juvenile facility, they sent me upstairs with a couple of my cousins and acquaintances. You feel folks I be around. As soon as we get in the pod, I get in the pod, the whole pod go crazy. It's 32. Like from my city, I'm very known, so everybody, you know what I'm saying, since a kid, everybody been knowing me because they knew my father. My father was a comedian. He was huge out here. Everybody loved my father, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of folks knew who I was, and from that, they just talk, you know what I'm saying? They loved me. Caught a couple people that I did something to in there, you know what I'm saying? They had cop deuces. You know how it go when you in the system. So I'm just gonna skip this part because I don't want to incriminate myself, but just know that in jail, got to scrap about one time over some BS, you know what I'm saying, over some gang activity. Was never worth it, you know what I'm saying? Mind y'all, in the system, they already labeled me as a gang member. Just because of who I be around and the area I be in. It was known and a big...
that just goes to show that you ever heard the saying that, how did it go? It's, basically, I'm gonna just put it in my words because I can't think of how it was the actual saying. But basically, your friends is an image of you. Basically, that's basically how they treat them. Like he hang out with those type of people. He could be the nicest person in the world, but that's all we see you with. You posting pictures, maybe y'all out doing stuff. That's all we see you with. So we're gonna treat you as like you're one of them. You feel me? Like
crime
that go with anything
so,
though.
For 5 years straight, 37208 was the biggest crime rate area in America. Which people don't check zones, people check cities. Nashville, it was one area, 37208, for 5 years straight had the top crime rate. So where I come from is number crime. The area that I come from.
Okay, I was wondering where he was at. He in Nashville.
So back to the story. I got switched to another part with my folks. And I had about, from the time I was in there to the time I was released, I was in there for about 2 months. Didn't do long. And okay, so we're gonna get to the point with my lawyer. I remember it was a Thursday morning. My lawyer was a new lawyer, paid for by my church family.
Okay.
The church family that I have not went to in like 2 years, that I didn't go to in 2 years. I used to play football, and where we used to play football and eat, she made sure I was good. Came up there and visited me, talked to me. The lawyer talked to me. Now I'm gonna slow down real quick, cause don't forget, night and day I prayed. I ain't caught no problems. I chilled. We had fun. I made sure I woke up before everybody. Take a shower. You know what I'm saying? Respect. You respect. But everybody loved me. Everybody respected me, and I respected everybody. And everybody loved, like, you know what I'm saying? I got so much love from when I was in there. I remember somebody was telling me, I don't hear none of your cell, fool. What do you do every night, fool? All night, fool. I don't hear nothing in your cell. Man, I swear, all I did was pray. All I did was pray. Every night and day. Pray. Pray to God he get me out this situation.
I bet you
and
did.
I wrote in my books. I just knew when I get out, I'm gonna be a better man. I'm gonna be a better person. I just wanted to be better.
And see, that's another thing. Now that you talk about praying, you know, what a lot of people need to normalize is, and even me, you know, this goes for me too, because I've been telling myself this a lot too. You don't need to always just pray from like when you need something. You want to pray like being thankful of some stuff too, you know, and just, you know, being grateful, you know, and just stuff like that. Not just only when you need something. Like in situations like this, you just praying you get out of the situation. Like, please let me get out. I'm gonna do right. Please help me get through this. I'm gonna do right. Please don't let this be this. I'm gonna, like, a lot of people do that. Me myself, you know, I tell myself that, you know, it ain't really, you know, too good to do it that way. You know, praying should be like an overall thing. You want to pray about, you know, pray for guidance, the things you've accomplished, you know, just being blessed, just being thankful for the things you do and don't have, you know. So it's like, I don't know. A lot of people fail to realize that, and they don't even realize what they're doing while they're doing it. You feel me? So, like I said, that goes for me too. Like, I'm not excluding myself from it either, because I'm not perfect.
And I always had
Ain't nobody
it.
perfect.
It wasn't like it was never in me. I just consumed the BS, and I fell for temptation. I was telling God every day, if I get out of this situation, man. So my lawyer had came, and she had told me, Tuesday, okay. I'm like, what? You can get me home by what? Tuesday. Man, I dang near cried enough. He said, I don't know, no. I don't know. Don't get your hopes up. I'm just letting you know. I ran upstairs, right? As soon as I ran upstairs,
told everybody.
You know, everybody like over the pod. They came to everybody. Everybody came up. They said, "What they say? What they say? What they say?" I said, "They just said I think I can get home by Tuesday." Man, when I tell you the whole pod, whoa! Hey, I'ma tag one of my homeboys who was in there. Everybody just got happy, you know what I'm saying? They was just happy, and I was happy too, you know what I'm saying? And I just remember like this one hating dude.
I'm finna say, it definitely always be.
I asked him, I said, "You think I'm gonna go home?" He said, "No, you fighting a murder charge. You would not come home. You're facing 20 to 50 years, no."
Just
and I looked at him like,
I'm busting down into shambles. Or
so
whatever.
When Monday came, everybody had court. Most of the people who I was in there with, they had court. And when they had court, it was deadly. I was watching people get sent off, juvenile life, judge handing them years in big boy jail, a couple more years in here. I'm like, yeah, I'm cooked. And then the dude told me,
alright, let's go to this other one.
Killing of my brother and the passing of my father, and on how he changed my life. So as soon as Tuesday hit that morning, I was the only person, you know what I'm saying, in my pod had court. My time hit, I supposed to go to court at 1 o'clock. But 1 o'clock hit, and nobody was here. But the dude, the older cat, he was older, and he had did time in the penitentiary. And he, on his changing of his life, he had came to the juvenile facility to talk to us and, you know what I'm saying, to help us. He told me, he said, "Hey, young blood, come over here, come over here." Mind you, almost every day, we used to play like little games, and he used to whoop me every day. So I finally get to sit down, and I played with him, and I played chess with him. As I playing chess, you feel me?
I still know how to play that.
I won. Bam! As soon as I won,
Checkers,
I get happy.
I play chess. I just don't understand
But I asked
it.
him what time it was. He like, it's 1:45. Sit down, young blood. I think it was at 1:49. You know what I'm saying? It was like round one at a time. So we played another game. And as we played another game, we played Jenga. Yeah, when we played Jenga, I lost. Bam! As soon as I lost, I'm like, "What time is it?" Man, they playing with me. It's like 2:15. Nobody came and got me. Nobody said nothing. So I decided the phone came on at a certain time. So I decided to call my mama. When I called my mama, I'm like, "Mama, where you at?" She like, "I'm up here, baby. Just have your patience. Just have your patience." I'm like, man, cause I'm not going home. My whole mindset now, I'm not going home. I ain't going home. And so I waited a little couple more time, and it was about 3. I said 3. It was 2:20 on the clock. When it was 2:20 on the clock, I got up and I'm getting mad. I called my mama again. Called her again, and when I called her again, she like, "Baby, we out here. We waiting on you. We waiting on. We waiting. We waiting. We don't know yet. We waiting. We seeing what the judge say. We waiting." So I kept waiting. So as I kept waiting, like 2:45, I'm like, man, I'm not going home. I lost my patience. I'm like, man, I'm not going home. I'm not going home. So
man, y'all playing with me, man. It's the damn supposed to have comforts to go on today.
Who ran the party at the time? I said, man, I'm finna flip everything in here. They playing with me. I'm gonna tag them in the text. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know. You know what I'm saying? A real one. Bam. So as soon as I was finna flip the table in the day room, the lady yelled out on the walkie-talkie. She yelled out, "I need Mr. Malphus for pickup." Boy, the whole scenery lost. I said, "Pickup? What? No court? No nothing?" And they said, "Pickup." Man, the old here, he said, hey, they said pickup. He grabbed all my stuff, grabbed everything. He grabbed everything for me. I ain't never seen nobody do that. And as soon as I got to my pod, I said, man, everybody can have everything in here. Bam, so everybody got everything on myself.
They celebrating, everybody laughing, you know what I'm saying, hugging on me. Damn, I remember walking out of the facility and somebody yell out, damn, I dropped all my books. Somebody yell out, you ain't gonna need that no more. Man, in my Bible, I said, I'm gonna need this for the rest of my life. And I walked up out of there. Damn, I get downstairs, way downstairs. I'm like, y'all sure y'all talking about release? She like, yeah, we talking about release. Man, I'm talking about the lady, the nurse, you know what I'm saying? She gave me a huge hug. She said, oh my God, baby, woo, everybody. Like, it seemed like everybody who was in the juvenile facility was happy and celebrating for me.
I just feel like this situation would have been a lot different if he wasn't 17. And then again, he lucky he didn't. They didn't try to, try him as an adult because he was 17. But
they knew what I was going through the process. So when I got released, you know what I'm saying, I had to sign a couple papers on getting released. That's me signing my red flag law paper, where I'm a walking red flag everywhere I go, which was mentioned in part 3. So if you ain't on part 3, why you on part 4? Damn, so I got released. As soon as I got released,
I don't remember him saying about a red flag.
My mama, hugged the mess out of my lawyer. Hug my lawyer. And I also seen my brother, best friend, was that, you know what I'm saying? Hug the mess out of him, man. Kept apologizing to him. He was like, I understand, man. And I was in a room where after I got released, they set my papers down. They told me everything that I had to complete. They put me in a lot of nonprofits that actually did not work for me. They put me in activities that was like, okay, like they was trying. But it wasn't enough to keep me from being in the streets. So I came home. My brother, best friend, he was telling me he didn't want me doing nothing. As soon as I came home, I went home. They told me one of my biggest things that they told me that I had to stay away from my projects. I had to stay away from Dodge City projects. But knowing me, I could not stay away from the projects. Rewind that, I was already on probation in a whole different county for a stolen car and marijuana in the car. So I was going back and forth to another county to complete my probation, and they pushed my probation back, which they wanted me to be incarcerated. But they put me in a hotel and they asked me if I'm able to speak to kids about my story and help them, I'll get all my charges dropped. And I said, what? Are you for real? And
all the charges dropped to do Beyond Scared Straight?
The support system that I had around me, the reason that I made it possible, you know what I'm saying? Like they was determined to not have things on my record for when I turned over 18, and to not have things that messes me up for in my future life. And I did that, spoke to the kids. All the charges was dropped from that case. Bam. So as I came home, I continued doing the same thing, of course, that I was consumed to. Because I went to the same area, the same place.
I don't understand.
I actually killed my brother, first of all. So I'm repeating the same trauma every day, all day. I'm repeating the same trauma. Mad at the world. I didn't understand a lot of things. So I came home to the same thing. Still doing slick, conniving ways to make my money and to get verification. Bam. So something in me switch. Watch my father switch. Everybody knows my father as a strong man, you know what I'm saying? For a little minute, I didn't talk to my father after my brother's passing.
You seem like
I talked to him after I got out of jail, and he told me, and I told him that I don't want to be in the streets no more. And he told me it's just jail talking. And I was so serious. I did not want to touch the streets no more. He like, man, you just talking jail talking. That's jail talking. And when I seen my father,
Sound like
after a year and a half not speaking to him, I watched how little he got. Watched my dad ain't have nothing. Watched my dad ain't have a house. My whole life, my daddy had a house or apartment, had a car. He didn't have no car. When he seen me, he didn't even recognize me. I had to talk to him. And when I talked to him, and it came to a realization, he just started crying. He's like, I've been looking for you. I've been looking for you. And I'm like, man, this ain't my dad. Like, you're talking about you looking for me. Boy, I'm in the same place you seen me last time. You know where I'm at. I mean, my daddy, one of the biggest people I ever met, and his whole mindset was gone. Like, a person that I looked at, I feel like I looked at as my hero, as a big impact in my life. He was something so little to me. He was something so gone to me. And I rolled off from my pops and I cried tears. And all I could think about, like, it's my fault. Like, my daddy like this because of me. And that's when I decided I can't live like this no more. I was continuing walking around here with firearms. I was continuing doing illegal things, conniving things. And after watching my father crumble, I decided to leave.
I can't admit, the story's actually interesting, you know? Like, and it's just like, I don't know, I feel like you can learn a lot from what he's saying. Like, you know, like, just based off what he was kind of, you know, just going through and the situation he was put in, you know, like, I don't know. It's crazy, you know, now that we hearing about him talking about his dad.
I'm back here with part 5 of accidentally killing my brother and the death of my father, and on how I changed my life. A lot of people have their comments and their perceptions. Please keep them to yourself, because if you went through the same situation, 1,000% you would have did what I would have done. And don't think this cannot.
Now look, I'm gonna be honest. Now, you said if the person was in your situation, they would have did 1,000% what you done. Now look, the stuff you was doing after you got out of jail, I can't stand by that, because you went right back to the stupidity. And I never understood that when people get out of jail and they do the same stuff they went to jail for, and they go back to jail for longer, get out and do it. Like, it's just the whole getting out and going back. You feel me? Like, it's like when you first go in and you get out. Like, come on now, like, literally, bro. Like, it's like, I don't be understanding men. Like, it's like y'all want to go to a place where y'all surrounded by nothing but men, compared to being in a world full of women and money and just activities. You feel me? Like, so it's like, why do y'all be going back? And then it's another thing too. It's like, bro, like, I don't know. Like he said, he got out, still on the block, still toting straps, still doing this, still doing that, just dumb stuff. Like, just dumb. Like,
happening to you.
He got lucky.
Don't think it can happen to you. It will happen to you. Back to my story.
Come on, brother. Look, we don't gotta wish that on the people now. We don't want this happening to nobody. Nobody. This is a traumatic experience that we do not want to wish this upon any human being. You see what I'm saying? So let's not do that.
I'm gonna rewind it back to when I was in school. I had to go back to school, like regular school, after that happened. Not even a week after I got released from jail, I went back to school. Which my first day was cool. Everybody ran up to me, supported me, said something to me, talked to me. I had 1,000 questions, of course. And I just didn't like how everybody crowded around me and treated me like I was some type of celebrity. And I was going through something so deeper. Like, when I came home from jail, I had to sleep in the same bed with my little sister and had to go right back to the same exact place where it happened at. So my mental wasn't 100% there. Everything wasn't 100% there. I was still on medication, still on probation, and I'm still thinking like, yeah, I'm cooked. I'm still doing the same thing I was just doing, robbing, stealing cars,
hang with people I had no business hanging with. So as I'm in school, I kept thugging. Now this goes for any young kid out there, you know what I'm saying, who thinking about even getting in the street, thinking about that's like the only thing you got. Cause with me, that was the only thing I had. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. And this is why
bro,
God pulled me out.
Live y'all a nice lifestyle, man. Find y'all a way to make y'all some money and stay out the way. Figure y'all something out, man. I don't know. Start a business. Stream, do YouTube, go to school, play basketball, play football. You know, go get a nice little job somewhere and start you a business, something. Make you some money, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like make you some money, find you a nice little woman, and y'all rock out, man. Y'all go take trips. Or even if you by yourself, take trips. Explore life. For me, it's more to life than just partying and going to clubs and like all that, man. That's the little things. You feel me? It's way more stuff to it. Like you feel me? Like yeah, like all that's cool and all, but
And God pulled me to a different side to help other kids from what I was going through. So in school, I decided I'll be doing the same thing, not going to none of my classes, skipping all my classes still while I was on probation. While this was part of my probation, you know, being in class on time, doing everything I was supposed to be doing. But I failed because I was used to the same thing. Like I went back to the same school, hung with the same friends, did the same thing, talked to the same people. So I had an incident in school. I had got kicked out of school. And when I got kicked out of school, went to the district about me, and the district was like, the staff are scared of you, the kids are scared of you. Bam, I can't go back, and I snapped in the meeting with the district. Got mad, yelled, you know what I'm saying? Everything that I did was so uncalled for. You know what I'm saying?
at least he's self-aware.
I was full of anger. I was confused at the time. I came over there with a police officer. I done called the police officer all types of names, told him I'd smack him, I'd spit on him. Thank God that he just let me walk away. It was never no problem, because I could have got locked up. But when I got kicked out, I dropped out of school. Wow. Yes, I dropped out of school. I said I was done with school. I was finished with school. School was too much for me because I was already going through anxiety, all these other things, and I'm mad at the world at the time. So I'm like, F school. I don't care about school. I don't need school. So I dropped out of school my senior year, literally like the first month of school, and I was out for like at least 8-9 months. So during them 8-9 months, now here's the switcheroo. Hope y'all ready. So during 6-8 months, in the month of March, I met with a lady. Her name is Rashida Fatuga.
That's right before they about to
graduate. With all
graduate.
my heart, because she saved me, and believe that at first I didn't believe I was worth saving until then. When I had first met her, she had came to me with, she wanted me to be a part of her organization. She believed that I can be this and then that and that and this. Bam. The first part, I left everything alone. For like a month straight, I didn't even talk to her. She'll check in with me, text me, call me all day. I would not call her, didn't care. Until I realized one morning that I'm not doing nothing with my life anyway, but sitting right here, I'm grandmother's couch, sorrowing over my brother's death. Couldn't eat, couldn't do nothing. Still doing the same. I wanted to stop, but I couldn't stop. It just wasn't as frequently. Like I wasn't doing the BS as frequent as I usually would. So I called her back, and I decided to become part of the organization. When I first joined the organization, I thought it was messed up because I heard a news article, I'm hearing people, and they basing their opinion on the organization. So I'm like, no, this is no. But something told me, go. So I didn't have nothing going, so I just called. I had to. I called up there, bam, got in contact with her again, and I decided to start going. And as I started to go, I told her, I'm not worth saving. Like, I'll be dead before I turn 18.
Wow.
I don't even, like, I just want to die. I told her, I'm supposed to be dead. what I'm saying? I wanted that. Like I told her literally out my own mouth, like when I first met her, that death ain't too far from me. You know what I'm saying? She was just so like, why you say that? Like I just see so much in you. But I just didn't see it in myself. I didn't believe in myself at the time. I felt so bad, felt so down, you know. And as soon as I got into the organization, she asked me, oh, do you like cooking? I'm like, yeah, I love cooking. And she decided to put me in this other organization that's connected to that organization for former incarcerated men. This is culinary school. I didn't know what to expect, but I put my all into it. First day, Chef Sterling, one of the best cooks in Nashville, Tennessee, Mr. 100. He does a lot of things for my community. He does a lot of things for other communities. He done a lot of things for me, period. First day that I met him, I had my pants to the floor. I was on the phone. Like when you thugging in the streets, this is a whole mentality. Like my father is in him, everybody else. So I really don't know what it's like to respect a man as a man. And he told me, pull up your pants and get off your phone. I had turned around and looked at him like, who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, who you talking to? Boy, you know who I am? I really can't go into detail like how I was because like it's TikTok. And as the classes went on, he helped me a lot. He helped build me, you know what I'm saying, as a man and as a character. He sat down and talked to me at my worstest times. When the verge of
just a little quick, you know, let me say something real quick. Now, the story time is long, like I say. So if you want to just stop the video, watch it, go to his channel. Go to his TikTok. Go ahead, put it in 2x speed and watch it. Go for it. You feel me? Or you can just stay here and rock out with me. You feel me? Come vibe with me. Cause I'm watching it through. I just had to say that because as I'm recording, I'm seeing that we already got 50 something minutes. Like it's a long video, so it's like either one is cool with me, man.
Getting baptized.
Of course, I appreciate you.
I got baptized
me, but ain't forcing it.
June of that 12th of 2023, I say. When I got baptized, I had decided that I did not want my hair no more, so I cut all my hair off. Yes, my dreads was way longer than this at first. I had cut all my dreads off because if you go back into like 2, I said how my dreads was in my face. I didn't like them around. You know what I'm saying? I just believed that they held an energy that I didn't want no more. I didn't want nobody looking at me like a certain type of person. As soon as I came back to the class after I cut my dreads off, it was like, what? So a couple weeks later, I'm with my father, and I'm with one of my mentors. He had took me to a job fair inside of an alternative school. As he took me inside of the career fair, I met a lady who I met at church. She was asking me about school. Am I still in school? And I was like, no, I'm dropped out of school. I got kicked out of school, so ever since I've been dropped out. Right. She's like, no, we can't do that. And I seen her there, and as we in alternative school, she told me to talk to the principal. So I talked to the principal about me coming to school, and he was like, yeah, you're in. Bam, just like that, you're in. Bam, he got backlash from the district because I was not supposed to be in schools, period. They didn't want me in alternative schools, they didn't want me into regular schools. They didn't want me around nobody younger, like, cause I had like a savage mentality and I ran everything. Still to this day, when I tell people I changed my life, I didn't change like period my life. I changed what I do. So everything that I used to do, I just consume it into something positive. You know what I'm saying? So I could take that energy out on something positive.
All right, let's go ahead. We got 2 more parts.
Of my brother and how my father passed. If you're on part 6 and haven't seen part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5, please go look at them. Now this is the success part of it. So as I'm going into culinary school,
I'm still having my troubles doing the right thing. I had got into a situation that made me have so much drugs at the time and so much money. I wouldn't even say like it wouldn't be so much, but it was enough. And my whole life, my father had sold drugs, did drugs. So the first person I came to was my father. The main reason that I started back into the street was because the funding had stopped because Trump had got in office. Okay. So I'm in the kitchen with my pops. He teaching me how to cook, if you know what I mean. Sitting there chatting up. It's like probably the best time that we ever had together. Growing up, me and my pops never got along. We never got along. We always had our difficulties. And right there, I felt like that we had a huge bond, especially after my brother. So we hit the Ave, we hit the block. And as soon as we hit the block, we get to serving. My dad was like, this whole strip yours.
Serving with Pops? That's what you was doing? I was out there serving?
Everything out here is yours. You can have everything. I'll never forget this. And I looked at it. I see my granny, cousins, uncles, father on the same block that made me. And I sat across the street and just looked at my family for a little minute. Never went to no family reunion, don't know what family feel like. How I grew up, it was real harsh, because it's passed on generation of hardship, because if you look at the crack, all this makes sense to why I was created and what I was created in. As soon as that happened, I had told my pops, can he drop me off at the house? He said, you don't want to make no money? I said, nah, not tonight. Got back into the house. I put the drugs into a book. So for a year straight, I'm finna put this in y'all mind. 2 years straight, I had drugs in the book, still debating on should I use them or not. So 2 years, almost 2 years, I had them in one box. So when I did that, I'm like, yeah, this over with for me. I can't do it no more. So day to day, my dad used to come pick me up, talk to me. We used to chat it up. I love my pops. He had the best conversations ever before he passed. And the fun that had got back started. So I was good. So I told myself I'm officially done with the streets. I'm just gonna focus on cooking and public speaking at the time. So that's what I was focused on, and my music. And as I'm doing that, I'm in school. I'm back in alternative school. Bam, alternative school was so good to me. You know what I'm saying? Because they wanted me to graduate. They knew I was so smart and so intelligent. Mind you, we're going to run all the way back, go back. My whole life, I grew up bad. I was never disrespectful. I was always bad. But I always passed all my classes. I always was smart. So most of my teachers knew I had it in me. I just didn't. I just grasped for attention when I was younger. But some of my teachers knew I was just so smart, but yet I still had my difficulties in it. So alternative school, I had only got into like one fight, and that's because somebody was disrespecting me. They heard about my brother case, and they just disrespected me when I wasn't there, type. Scraped them. You know how I go. Got to the end of the school year. I graduated high school with 32 credits. I think you need 24, 25 to graduate from high school. I had way more credits to even graduate. I tried to go back to my old school that I got expelled from, but they was like, no, you're not walking the stage with us. I'm like, okay, cool. Tried to do it with the alternative school. The alternative school deadline I was too late on the deadline. But they tried to redeem it and try to put me in there, and then one of the counselors was like, no, he don't have an art elective. I can't graduate because of art elective? Boy, I pissed a bitch in there. Flipped everything, flipped all the tables.
Damn, man.
Walked out.
So it seemed to me like this man had some real bad anger issues. Like, they was real bad. Like, real bad. You say you just like flipping over tables, and wigging out and tweaking on people.
Straight out. Got home,
Glad he moved
cried my
past that
ass
though.
out. Told my mama, told my father. Mama ain't really say nothing, but my daddy was telling me. Mind you, my father, he had dropped out at 12 years old. He don't even know nothing about school. Like
12 years old is crazy. So that means you didn't even finish middle school.
his sense of ability is so slow, so it's like you're gonna have to talk to him. But when I told him that I wouldn't graduate from high school, that I was gonna drop out, he like told me, "What are you doing?" That's the first time I ever heard my father talk to me slow, talk to me calmly, and tried to understand where I was coming from. He was still like, I'm not gonna lie to you, you still need to graduate. And he was just telling me how hard I was fighting, how hard he looked at me. Bam. So before this, we never had a good bond, especially after my father started doing drugs. He did drugs, he said the most unpredictable thing. But me as his son and me as a person,
Like
I
a drunk,
understood everything. He
like
used
an
to call my
alcoholic.
phone, complaining about my father. I used to be in meetings with huge people, with state council people. My father used to call my phone just to piss, cause he mad at the situation about my brother. And I
Wow.
used to cry.
It took a
All I
toll on
did
him.
was keep blaming myself. I kept blaming myself. So the month of June hit. There was this one school called Old Cockra Academy. I went up there to go see can I graduate. And first starting off, the lady at the front desk told me no, because she looked at my record and she was like, "You've been a gang intimidator since you was in the 7th grade." She told me no. But the other lady had called up to the alternative school and had talked to the principal. And the principal was like, "Yeah, he's good people, he's cool." You know what I'm saying? You know, he gave me all my props. He said he loved me. But at the end, he said he know Miss Haywood. Your connections, man. Connections. She said, "You know Miss Haywood?" I'm like, yeah, I know Miss Haywood. And she said, off top, you're in. I'm in. They got me into the school and they got my transcript, they got everything ready for me.
Okay.
And she asked me a question. She was like, "Why didn't you graduate?" I'm like, "They said an art elective." She said, "An art elective?" She said, "You have computer science in here, which is computer art."
Yeah.
She said they could have graduated.
Yeah, I ain't never heard nobody not graduate because of an elective. I ain't never heard that. I feel like they only was doing that because of the person he was, but I don't feel like that's.
They could have passed you. Like, man, well, it's over now. She was like, "Well, we got you. You can graduate in July." Wow. She said I didn't even have to do no work, no nothing. You already here. So I waited time out. A month later, July hit. July was one of the best months of my life. I had graduated from culinary school a week before I had graduated from high school. So I got my culinary license. Made me become a chef, a lead chef at that. The whole time I was in the class I led, I was the youngest person in there. Thanks to Chef Sterling for knowing who I was as a person. So he had me at lead chef. I was the youngest. I was 18 years old at the time. Running grown man. Man, made me, it was a lot on me, but I made it happen. When I graduated from culinary school, a week later I graduated from high school. One of the best times of my life, I spent with my family. Nobody gave me nothing for graduation. I never got nothing for graduation, for culinary school. I never got anything for nothing that I chose to do on my own. And I really didn't expect one because I grew up. So as I got done with culinary school and high school, I decided to get into public speaking. My
Okay.
first public speaking thing was in front of over 10,000 people. I had spoke about gun control and gun
Most people
violence
can't do
at
that.
the state capitol. And that right there showed me my light right there. What I can do, how many people I can bring. But I made such an impact on it. As we know that them people in them positions are very corrupted. When I spoke, as soon as I spoke, they changed the law. They dropped the gun law to 18 in my state. At first, I downed myself. But my mother was like, you literally have so much power to make somebody else change their decision, to mess with their mind. And we're going to come back for part.
All right, y'all. So this is the final part. I know it's been a long video, man. Appreciate y'all if y'all still here. I know it's been a long video, man. So I really appreciate y'all if y'all still here watching with me. Make sure y'all like the video, man. Let's go ahead and finish this video out.
Part 7 of accident killing my brother and the passing of my father and how it changed my life. If you're here and you're on part 7, it is important on part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why are you here? So when I graduated, I started off with public speaking. For me, public speaking, I loved it. And I feel like I got inspiration from a lot of people. But going on to that, I was still into the organization, and I was elected to become the president of the organization. Here's the organization. And then got my certification in violence interruption. Did some AVP training. And right after that, found out my father was in the hospital. So I ended up dropping everything and running to the hospital. Doctors telling me the way doctors telling me to have my patient. And mind you, you guys, I'm down there the only person that cares about my father during this time. So I'm the person that has the right to write on things, to say things, to do things. A 19-year-old, and I had so much on my plate already. So day that I kept going to the hospital, watching my father breathe through 50 different machines, keeping him alive.
Crazy.
Watch my father grasp air. Watch my father seize every time he want to react to something. Watch my father cry.
This entire situation is just like
The only thing he could do was cry.
a very traumatic situation.
My father that day. Like, we had our difficulties all my life, but I understood my father that day. I never felt so much sympathy from a person. Like, I felt so like I understood him. From that on, that day, I wasn't mad at him, like nothing that he done. He taught me nothing. My dad was up there for about 3 days before he passed. All I remember on that 3rd day, they telling me that my father had no insurance to keeping him on this machine. They said that my father is sick, suffering on this machine. They said 20% is him and the rest is the machine. 80% was the machine. And me as his oldest son, I guess I had to pull the plug. And I told them, can you wait just a day? Because like I can't grasp like doing that. I accidentally killed my brother, and I have to be the person that choose to.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My father. Thought about it that night. Feel like I became a man that night. Like I didn't cry no more. I had to weep. Feel no sadness. I just got things done. The next day came. They showed me his brain activity. He had no brain activity. He was brain dead. He said his brain cells was dead. And I cried. I cried like a little baby on the hospital floor. I cried. I snapped on the doctors. I just wanted them to save my father. They couldn't. It was enough that they could do. All I could do was yell. Cry. With nobody there to hold me. Nobody there to say, are you okay or nothing. I had to be a man. For my siblings, for my mother, for my family. So we got this funeral arrangement started. Mind you, I'm a 19-year-old young man and I'm setting up a funeral and I don't know what's going on myself. I don't know nothing about this paperwork. I don't know what to do. Confused. No family help. Nobody help. Nobody help my dress. everything I did was on my own. And as soon as we had the funeral, they got to fighting at my father's funeral.
Wow.
Family
I
was
just felt like he
at
used to
my
say something like
father's
that.
funeral. Like, real deal fighting. Police was called. Everything.
Like, dang, man, it's a time and place for everything, man.
I snapped on the pastor. Snapped on everybody. I was just so mad. So it's like I just wanted to be heard at the time. And I felt like nobody was hearing me. And, you know, everybody was telling me, yeah, I lost a father too. But I just lost my father and my brother. And I watched them both die. And I felt helpless. It just makes me mad at the world. Should be looking at like, dang. But I keep going. Keep pushing myself. And as I'm grieving, I still had to go to school. I still had to go to work. I wasn't worried about grieving. So I never had the time to grieve, even with my brother. I had to sit in a cell. I don't even know what grieving looked like. So after my father's funeral and after everything, I just decided that I wouldn't not come in contact with my family anymore. So for about a year and a half now, I have not been in contact with none of my family members, even on my mother's side. Okay. So thank y'all for tuning in. I'm just gonna explain a lot to y'all right now. My story is to help somebody else not give up on themselves or give up on somebody else. A lot of people had gave up on me. A lot of people thought that I wouldn't prosper, that I wouldn't do anything. That a lot of things that I do right now, they said out their own mouth that I wouldn't do. A lot of things was said about me. A lot of things was done about me. I was set
A lot of
up
people
for
say that
failure.
about me too, man. It's crazy.
Just don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on anything. You got this. Your life ain't hard as it seems. The only thing that kept me going through it all, it kept me sane and still keeping me sane. I lost 2 older friends this year. I lost uncles this year. 2 days ago, I just lost my grandmother. I lost my brother to the system. I lost my best friend to the system. I lost a lot of friends to the system. I think a lot of people leave this earth. That wasn't my father and my brother wasn't the only 2 people that I seen leave this earth. Keep your faith in God. Keep your faith in yourself. It would all work out. I promise you.
You know, we're gonna go ahead and just end it off right there. You know, and just hear him, say what he's saying as far as like keep going, believe in yourself, this and that third. Like it'd be good hearing that from different people, because that's the type of stuff I try to tell myself too. Like even with like doing YouTube, because I can't tell you how many people be doubting me, telling me certain stuff, and you feel me, telling me oh, it's gonna take this long. I be even telling myself that like, dang man, it's gonna take years, but it's like you gotta start somewhere, right? Anyway, man, hopefully I enjoyed that video, man. Shout out to him, man. Great story, man. We're going to do a lot more of these on here. It's a pretty long video, so if you stayed to this part, to the end of the video, appreciate you. Share, like, comment, subscribe. Like always, love all.